How's it going, everyone? This is Javita, and we are taking a look at release 159 for Boundless. They just dropped this morning. They added all kinds of things. I really wasn't expecting a patch like this anytime soon, because they said they're going to be working on, wait for it, bam! I was about blown away when I saw this. So it looks like they've done some major overhauling of the user interface. It's like it looked completely alien to me at first. I'm hoping that will be rectified as soon as I go through my portal, because I really hope I have more than 12 plots and that I've used more than 0 of them. So yeah, hopefully all my stuff is not like gone or something. But anyway, they did release an announcement last night that they were going to do some server maintenance this morning. They've changed up a bunch of how the server handles things. The main points that I have taken away from it is that chunks, which is to say parts of the world, will now be cached on the local computer. What this will do is, say if you're going through a lot of portals or you're logging in, it uses a lot less bandwidth. So instead of going through a portal and having to reload the entire world from scratch, it will kind of try to use what it has used in the past, or what it had in the past, and maybe just downloading a few changes here and there. So hopefully that will vastly improve the game performance for people with, maybe not the best internet connection. As you probably have noticed, I have a red ruby torch. I want to do a shout out to one of my viewers. I'm going to apologize because I'm probably going to butcher his name, but it looks like Cobbleton. That's what it looks like to me, but he gave me this ruby torch when he saw I was doing actually a build in Pixelgate that was using a lot of red materials, and so he gave this to me so I could use it to go with my sort of red theme that I've got going on. Kippy is actually kind of more of the mastermind behind that build, but we're working on it together. So, as you probably also noticed, that gem torches in general now have a unique sound effect. And maybe I'll try to dial that down, because I'm actually not that crazy about it. It's kind of like starting to drill a hole in my brain, but another thing they did as far as the servers is they have done something to the resource regeneration, and they actually put a screenshot on the post for the patch notes, and it unfortunately doesn't say what planet he's on. He's definitely on a different planet, I'm assuming, because I can see some hard coal. But he's got a shot, and I'll put it up on the video. He's standing on like one block of gold, and then it's like everything but the resources have been removed all the way down the lava, and it looks like there is a massive amount of what looks like medium coal. It's a little bit hard to tell. There's a couple of veins of silver and some hard coal in that picture. And the main thing I'm seeing here is it's much more evenly distributed. At least in some of my experiences, is I would run onto huge, like, condensed packets of resources that are all jumbled together, and then, followed by really large kind of dry areas in between. So maybe things are a little bit more evenly distributed. I don't know. Let's go ahead and go through the portal here. This is actually Alternic. I'm not sure how to pronounce that either, but it is the ring world of the Australian servers. Was just kind of messing around here last night. I actually drilled about 40 blocks down into this ginormous mountain. It's got an elevation of 225, and did some mining and kind of got a feel for what the resources are going to be like here. And I think at a later date I'll come here and destroy this mountain along with a couple of my other areas that I like to mine, and try to see how things are distributed differently. I do a lot of mining in just solid rock, and that might not even be a good idea anymore. It's a possibility that caves will be a great place to mine. But world and resource changes aside, looks like they added plant and flowers level of detail, They kind of implemented the back end of the dynamic attribute system. We won't really be able to see any of this currently, but it allows the developers to kind of tweak things in the background much easier and will lay the groundwork for the upcoming progression system. And in anticipation of the progression system, they've also reduced our HP and damage by a factor of 10. So where we had 12,000 hit points, we now have 1,200 hit points. But since the damage is also dropped, it really shouldn't make much of a difference, other than, I guess, maybe some rounding issues, where you might have taken 85 damage, now you'll just maybe get rounded up to 9 damage or something like that. But I was actually kind of hoping a Cuddle Trunk would come around and bother me. They've added an extra attack to at least certain types of Cuddle Trunks. They now can like tractor beam you up into the air and then throw you or something like that. There will be a way to kind of avoid it, like they'll target the ground, and as long as you get out of that area you can avoid the attack. I think I'll run around and find a Cuddle Trunk and be back then. Okay, so this is fairly interesting. This is a decently hostile planet, or at least it was last night, and I'm not finding any wildlife whatsoever. I did take some fall damage, and it appears that maybe we now have health regeneration, which is amazing. But I don't know if that was maybe a glitch or something. I don't know if I can... Okay. Well, maybe there's not health regeneration. It must have been like a little glitch. It does say is 16 damage from missing. So, I guess we can see if that ever pops back up. Oh, finally, we found some... Oh, that's cool. It's like got green tentacles. They've also added, like, each planet will have 2 variations of, like, the same mod. So right there you can see that there's a wild stock that looks like that, and then there's another one just as big that looks differently. Each planet now also has an element kind of associated with it that corresponds with the gem type. I believe this planet has emeralds. I haven't found any yet. So there's a possibility that they might have like some poison type attacks or just damage aligned with that element. Let's see if he'll be still. Get his attention. There we go. Okay, there's the standard attack. Standard attack. Come on, don't you want to throw me up in the air? Have to get closer, maybe? Okay, he's starting to hurt. There we go. Okay. Well, I was assuming the big Cuddle Trunks would be the ones that would do the Cuddle Trunk Charmer 5. Nice. Killed a lot of Cuddle Trunks, apparently. Oh, nice. That's another thing that I knew I was going to forget to mention, is now when you loot animals, the corpse breaks, which... I'll have to do some testing with another player if it's breaking only for me, and then other players can still loot the corpse. They also did some changes to make to where animals don't really just keep coming back in the same area. You can actually kind of clear an area out of hostile critters, and then to find more, you'll actually have to travel somewhere else. They kind of made this change for people that are trying to live on these planets and just constantly being barraged with baddies. So, I think I'm gonna do some more looking around to see if I can't find a Cuddle Trunk that wants to throw me up in the air, because that just sounds, well, annoying but awesome at the same time. Until then. Oh, and on a side note, if you're looking for blue gleam and you don't want to go to Muntean 7 and dig up graves, you can come here, and this is how gleam is found on this planet. They're kind of like these little signposts, and they'll have, that's just 2 pieces of gleam. But the cool thing about this place, or finding it on this planet, is that they, at least in this area, they seem fairly common, and you can see it from a pretty good distance. You have to cover more ground, of course, but you don't have to systematically dig up every grave in a really big graveyard. And I think at a certain point, when I get done with the videos, the tutorials that I am working on, I'll do kind of like a planetary guide to, you know, maybe all the planets in general, or maybe one planet at a time. I really haven't decided. You can let me know what you all think about that and how you would like to see it presented. But anyway, continue looking for cuddle trunks. Okay, we are now on Nashville. Rothwell's portal system. It pretty much goes to just about every planet. It's only missing maybe some of the moons, but he might even have those now. But this has historically been what I considered one of the more hostile planets. Yeah, there's already 3 cuddle trunks right there. They're the big ones, though. Yeah, this planet, along with Muntine 7, strike, you know, at least in the past, have struck me as the most hostile. Ooh, maybe I can test out. Definitely is fully drawn back. Wow. Okay, so Roadrunners now survive more than 1 hit, which I guess makes sense. Gonna make them a lot harder to catch now, though. Yeah, these are actually the graves I was talking about. They look pretty much identical to this on Muntine 7 as well. And you see how this dirt is a little bit different. You can dig this up, and it's kind of an all or nothing thing. At least maybe prior to this patch it was all or nothing, but there'll be potentially 2 pieces of gleam, one there and then one underneath that block. So there's no real need to go digging out a huge amount of dirt trying to, oh, well, maybe it's under the next 2 blocks. Or I actually thought I saw something glowing off in the distance that would probably be gleam, but on this planet it's the yellow gleam. So, which there's actually a post on the forums that basically tell you where every color of gleam comes from. Also, these guys used to take 3 hits to kill with an iron sling bow, so I guess they kind of tweaked, probably again, the attribute system. Okay, well, this place is certainly a lot more peaceful with the new monster generation. It looks pretty big to me, but it's like, pretty sure that's a small one. Yeah, that one shot nearly killed it. Let's see if it does look like they are bigger. Come on, you know you want to throw me up in the air. Oh, it's hard to dodge on this ice. Yeah, I found pretty much, I mean, this is the first small one I found after quite a bit of looking. I keep finding all the big ones. And it's kind of interesting is the big ones only require 2 hits to kill, as well as the big spitters. I'm not sure what conditions he has to be in to do his attack, but he doesn't seem to want to do it. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to check the patch notes again and see if there's something maybe I've overlooked or misunderstood here. Okay, well, it doesn't seem like there's much I'm missing here. They do mention that the cuddle trunks that have this attack are on the higher tiered planets, or the tougher planets, however you want to phrase that. So maybe that type of planet isn't necessarily in the game yet. One thing that I did forget to mention earlier is that they rebalanced the recipes for both glass and brick, so that now you can make, I think each recipe crafted makes more brick, plus it requires less materials. I know a lot of people were upset because it was essentially like, what, 2 pieces of sand and 2 compact silt to make 1 piece of glass. And since compacted silt is essentially 10 pieces of silty soil, that, you know, that was a crazy amount of blocks just to make 1 block for decoration. Let's see, I'm almost out of time to record this. I'll see if I can get back to my house very quickly to see what the exact recipe is, but this might be the end of the episode. Okay, looks like I made it back in time. It now requires, let's see here, 4 sedimentary stones, or 4 stones of any type, really. It only requires 1 compacted clay, and, well, it doesn't show me how many it makes. So, since I don't have any spark and I don't have compacted clay on me, but that is an improvement. It used to take 2 compacted clay, and I'm assuming that makes more per thing. But this was Javita. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, like it. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. And if there's anything you didn't like, please let me know down in the comments. Until next time, peace.